Let's look at some interesting cards for our commander decks. Restore. 2 mana, 1 and a green, sorcery. Put target land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So this card works well in any deck where we can meet the condition of putting lands into our graveyard. So whether we're using our own fetch lands or utility lands or discarding lands, whatever the case may be, if we're putting lands into the graveyard, this is a decent way to recover those lands. However, the most exciting part about this card is it can bring back any land from any graveyard. There's a good chance that if you play in a meta where people play powerful lands, they also play targeted land destruction, which means we can use all of our opponent's fetch lands or powerful lands that have been destroyed throughout the game. Twilight's Call. 6 mana, 4 and 2 black, sorcery. You may cast this spell as though it had flash if you pay 2 mana more to cast it. You may cast it anytime you could cast an instant. Each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. It can be easy to overlook a card like this because as soon as you see that your opponents get to bring back their creatures as well, it's kind of like, no thank you, I don't want to do that. However, if you're playing a card like this, your deck is built around reanimating big scary creatures, you are going to get the most benefit out of this, and obviously you're going to cast it when it's most beneficial for you. There are some political uses with this card as well, because maybe you need to unite against the archenemy, so bringing back everyone's creatures to help deal with them might be something you need to do. But for the most part, you're likely going to use this so that you can win the game, and that's where the instant speed part of it comes in, because being able to cast this on somebody's instep right before your turn is going to allow you to have a board full of creatures, get all their ETBs, and then attack with them on your turn. Shield Dancer. 3 mana, 2 and a white, creature, human, rebel, 1/3. 2 and a white, the next time target attacking creature would deal combat damage to this creature this turn, that creature deals that damage to itself instead. On its own, this is a unique attack deterrent. I'm a big fan of cards like this because you leave it on the battlefield, and then as long as you have the mana open, nobody wants to attack you. And of course, you might be leaving mana open for something else, so it's not a big deal to say, oh, I'm leaving open 3 mana, because it might not necessarily be to use Shield Dancer. That can just be a cover for what you're actually leaving mana open for. And of course, if you can give it other keywords such as flying or reach so that it can block flying creatures or reduce the activated ability cost, then it becomes even better. Chiron Negotiations. 4 mana, 2 and 2 red, enchantment. Tap an untapped creature you control. This enchantment deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. So this is going to be at its best in any deck that wants to go wide, because you're going to probably use cards that deal damage when your tokens enter the battlefield. So being able to produce tokens on other people's turns will allow you to tap them before your turn to deal damage. I know a lot of people like to look at cards like this and think, well, if I have enough creatures to make this worth it, I could just pump them up and attack or something. But sometimes they have cards on the battlefield that won't let you attack them. Or they're going to play a fog effect and you're not going to be able to deal combat damage anyway. So this is a good way to ensure that you can still push through damage when you need to. This is definitely one of those cards that plays a lot better than it reads. Insight. 3 mana, 2 and a blue, enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a green spell, you draw a card. I'm always hesitant to recommend cards that require your opponents play a specific color, because I don't want you to go and put a card in your deck that is completely useless because you have no control over whether you'll be able to get the effect or not. However, green is quite popular in casual Commander, and there is a good chance with everyone playing multicolor decks that at least one person at the table is playing green. And if that's the case, this effect is quite good. Whenever they cast a green spell, you get to draw a card. Now, it's not a May ability, so if your opponents start casting lots of green spells, there's a chance that they could deck you out in some weird situation. But if that's the case, then I would argue that's still a good thing, because that's exactly the kind of fun moments that make Commander so exciting. So if you play in a meta full of green players, this is a pretty good draw engine for your deck. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about these cards and any other underplayed cards that you enjoy using. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching.